Christmas time is here. This time last year, I was talking about Children of Men and how it's secretly a Christmas film. I stand by that, by the way. This year, I want to talk about something a little different. That's why today, we're going to be talking about why Charlie Brown is actually the perfect example of a Byronic hero, and what that... With the recent release of the new trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I thought there's no better time than now to talk to you all about even more of the subtle genius behind the Prowler and what makes him such an effective villain. Since Season 4 of Attack on Titan is starting its second half in just a month or two, in this video we're going to be breaking down why I think Attack on Titan peaked in Season 2. Today we'll be talking even more about what frisson is and how Omori does it really. In this essay I'll be talking about why plot holes don't in the Blood Meridian movie, and whether or not there's a possibility of the Tuxedo Mission, and why it's my favorite. We'll be talking about... In this essay, we're going to be talking about... We'll be discussing... We're going to break down... In this essay, I'll be telling you why I think... I haven't put up a new video essay in a while. I've wanted to, but I just haven't. But hey, it's Christmas, and I want to talk about something a little more personal this year. I want to talk about a Charlie Brown Christmas and where I'm at with making video essays. As you may or may not know, at the start of this summer, I made a pledge to put out one video essay per month. This was both an attempt to set up a consistent upload schedule and to make the most of my time off school. And so, for 4 months, I made good on this promise. Starting in June, I released Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Entropy of Storytelling, the culmination of over 6 months of work. To this day, that is the longest essay I've ever made, and it by far took the most energy out of any of my projects. I put out another essay in July, then August, then September, and I had a really great time doing this little video essay challenge. I'm very happy with those 4 videos, and I was really looking forward to keeping that trend going throughout the rest of the year. Then summer ended, and fall rolled in to take its place, and the changing seasons hit me like a truck. No doubt the fact that I moved cities and started my first term of college had something to do with this, but autumn had me exhausted. In our patron newsletter for October, by the way, you can get access to all of these and more by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Socratic Cinema for as little as $1 per month. Wow, sorry about that. In our patron newsletter for October, I was still hoping to have a new video out that month. Heck, I even threw out a thumbnail for it. But October came and went, and there were no new essays to be found. Then November passed by, and now here we are in December. The seasons are changing yet again, the video essay river is still running dry, and I'm starting to get a little frustrated. Like I said before, it's not that I don't want to make content, I do, I feel like I owe anyone who watches this channel, and myself, an apology. Or at least an explanation. Remember that entropy essay that I was just talking about? The 40-minute one that took 6 months to make? I think that took a lot out of me. Of course, working on anything for 6 months will no doubt be exhausting, but that video was over double the length of anything I'd made before, and it had gallons more research going into it to boot. I really don't think I was expecting it to be nearly as taxing as it turned out to be. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses or search for pity or anything, but since that video came out, I haven't really had any ideas. July, August, and September's videos were all ideas I'd had saved up in my backlog. The script for the September video, the Tuxedo Mission, was something I wrote like a year ago, actually. So while I was still making content all summer, it was just sort of coasting off ideas I'd already had saved up. And I still have ideas in the bank. Take that video I teased on Patreon back in October, for example. There's plenty more where that came from, but for whatever reason, none of them are appealing to me the way my old video essay ideas did. I get an idea, I write it down, but when I go to try and make an actual essay of it, I just can't seem to find the words, or the arguments, or the passion I need. I'm burnt out. That's a common thing for creators to experience, and it's been really frustrating for me to deal with. having ideas but feeling incapable of turning them into anything meaningful. I've talked to a lot of my fellow essayist friends about this. When you get really burnt out from creating, you start to catch yourself watching things only with the purpose of finding a video idea. Even when I watch a really good movie or play a great game, if I can't find the essay in it, I feel like I failed somehow. This habit I'm in, where I can only watch things as a means to find content, is what's really been bothering me. I think that, combined with the fact that I feel this weird obligation to do numbers, is really starting to get me. I get worried sometimes that anything I make won't stack up at all to things I've made in the past. I don't think I'll ever make another 40-minute video, certainly not one about thermodynamics and life and death and cowboys. I really doubt anything I make in the future will have a response like the one we got to our Spider-Verse video or our Attack on Titan video. It's not like I make anything only for numbers, of course. That's not the kind of creator I want to be. I'm really beyond grateful for all the support this channel has gotten, but that overwhelming support has sort of left me in analysis paralysis. Like, I have to wait until I find the perfect video idea for whoever stumbles across it. And for the last few months, none of my ideas really seem to shape up into much of anything at all, and I'd hate to disappoint. So, that's sort of why I haven't made anything in the past couple months. It's partly just me being busy, but it's also a much deeper, more flawed relationship with media and content that I've developed. But this is a Christmas video after all, so what does any of this have to do with Charlie Brown? When December rolled around, I sort of knew that I wanted to do a Christmas video, but again, that same old problem.
Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel.
No matter how much I want to have an idea, I can't just force something to come up. So, in an attempt to try and find some inspiration, I took to watching some other essayists' Christmas videos. In Frame Out's essay, The Unsung Perfection of the Muppet Christmas Carol, and Thought in Words, A Charlie Brown Christmas, reminding us that boomers were millennials once too, were some of my favorites. But ultimately, they didn't get a whole lot of wheels turning. So, I moved on to the Christmas media itself. Hawkeye just came out. That takes place at Christmas. That's pretty cool, right? But that's not really enough for an essay. Well, what about Nightmare Before Christmas? That's, like, one of our favorites, right? Surely there's something there. Or, Elf, maybe. Or It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know. This sucks. Maybe Charlie Brown Christmas? I like the music in there. I could talk about jazz some more. That's always fun. And while I was watching A Charlie Brown Christmas, I sort of realized something. I didn't get a video essay idea, mind you, but I realized that Charlie Brown gets it. I felt kind of seen in a weird way. Charlie Brown's ennui with Christmas felt really applicable to my own boredom with my list of essay topics. His frustration at his inability to see what others see in the holidays mirrored my own frustration at my inability to write and make videos, something I love doing.
What seems to be your trouble? I feel depressed. I know I should be happy, but I'm not. Well,
there's a running thread in A Charlie Brown Christmas that has a lot to do with old Chuck noticing how everyone around him has commercialized Christmas, and how depressed this makes him feel.
lights in the display contest? Oh no! My own dog gone commercial. I can't stand it.
I feel a similar way with that pattern of content consumption and creation I talked about earlier. It's like I've lost sight, in a way, of what making video essays is supposed to be all about. Much like Lucy or Sally or Snoopy or any of the Peanuts, I've sort of commercialized, or at least commodified, watching movies and playing games and doing things that are supposed to be fun. I've turned them into work. Films aren't films anymore. They're potential sources for a video idea. Watching a movie isn't just sitting back with a bowl of popcorn. It's scanning every part of my brain to find some deep connection to the film I can write about. Christmas is supposed to be about family and giving, not selling products and getting money. And video essays, for me, are supposed to be about appreciating art and being creative, not bending over backwards to churn out content or trying to keep up with arbitrary monthly deadlines. Now, of course, I'm not going to pull a total Charlie Brown and start quoting scripture and talking about the nativity randomly in the middle of this video. I did enough of that last Christmas. But in a time in my life where I felt like no matter how hard I was trying, I just couldn't find that passion, a Charlie Brown Christmas really spoke to me. I felt like I was both Charlie Brown and the pro-commercialized Christmas peanuts. So how did Charlie Brown get out of his funk? And is there something similar I can do with mine? Well, there's always the hustle sigma grindset mentality that I could turn to. Much like Lucy's psychiatric help booth, where she essentially tells Charlie Brown that he needs to subscribe to everyone else's commercial ideology, there's always a motivational channel out there where I can be told that my problem is that I just need to work harder and the rest will come. I need to appeal more to the content gods, make Socratic cinema into a proper business, start selling NFTs of mine, Charlie, and Casey's heads. Maybe there's some wisdom in that. At the very least, it would mean more consistent uploads for you guys. But I think what would be better for me, and what would maybe lead to better uploads for you, is if I got back to what made me want to start doing video essays in the first place. Experiencing media that I love, and loving it so much that I need to write about it. I need to sift through all the shiny pink aluminum Christmas trees and find that little shriveled up tree in the back of the lot. Bring it home, give it some love, put a little ornament on it. It's not such a bad tree, you know? I don't know how long it'll take to find it, but I do know that trying to make a plastic tree work when there's no substitute for the real thing is a waste of time. So when I saw Charlie Brown put that little, ugly, humble tree down in the lot, when I saw how people were drawn to that authentic tree, they forgot all about chasing the commercial alternatives. When I saw how with a little love, a little passion, and some genuine care, that little tree turned into something beautiful, I almost cried. So I'll see you guys in the new year. I think it's time for me to stop trying to make pink aluminum trees work. That's not fair to you guys, and I need to relearn how to watch movies without needing to get content out of them. This holiday season, just like Charlie and the gang rediscovered the true meaning of Christmas, I'm gonna rediscover the true meaning of making videos for you guys, and also making videos for myself again. So, Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening to me, and thanks for watching. Consider this video my little dinky, wobbly, shabby tree. It's not much, and it's not very pretty, but rest assured that this one came from the heart.